come in. Close the door behind you. And seriously, check the lock. Make sure it clicks. You might think you're safe in your living room or your car or wherever you are right now, but tonight, we're going to challenge that assumption.
You are setting a very specific mood right out of the gate.
I have to. Because usually we're here to unpack the complex world of, finance or tech or history. We deal in logic. You deal in things that can be measured, graphed, explained.
Right.
But tonight we are looking at the data points that don't fit on the graph, the outliers that shouldn't exist.
It's a departure for us, certainly. But I think the insight here is crucial. We walk through life relying on a very thin social contract with reality. We assume the floor will hold us, the sun will rise.
And people we love are.
Well, human.
Exactly. So we've pulled together a collection of source materials, police reports, recovered journals, survivor testimonies that document 3 specific instances where the laws of physics, biology, and logic just broke. We're calling this deep dive Whispers from the Void.
And just a disclaimer for you listening. We aren't holding back on the sensory details. This isn't a campfire ghost story session. This is a forensic look at the unexplained. So if you're driving late at night on a dark road, maybe keep the interior light on.
Let's start with the first case. It's a file often labeled The Throne of Bones. And what strikes me about this one, looking at the timeline, is how quickly it escalates from a domestic tragedy to
something else.
Yeah, something biblical, something ancient.
It creates a specific type of dissonance. We expect horror in abandoned asylums, We don't expect it in a suburban split level on a Tuesday.
Right. It starts on a standard Tuesday in February. You have the father, let's call him David. He's clocking out of a construction job, driving home through a sleet storm.
And the source text is very specific about the weather.
It is. Ice pelting the windshield, visibility near zero. He's fighting the elements just to get back to his sanctuary.
Which is the first rule broken. Home is supposed to be the one place the storm can't reach. But when he opens that front door, the sensory details in his statement are incredibly specific. He doesn't smell dinner cooking.
No. He describes a thick, cloying wall of air. He identifies 3 distinct smells that shouldn't be together. Stink bugs, that musky, dusty rot, mixed with the sharp metallic tang of copper, and overlaid with an aggressive amount of bleach.
And anyone who has spent time around crime scenes or even just watches enough true crime knows that combination. Copper is fresh blood. Bleach is the desperate attempt to cover it up.
His survival instinct kicks in immediately. He bypasses the honey, I'm home routine. He goes straight to the kitchen drawer and grabs a meat cleaver.
Smart move.
And he notices a trail of crimson droplets on the hardwood leading away from the kitchen and down the hall toward the family bathroom.
And the report notes the bathroom door was locked from the inside.
From the inside. He has to batter it down, shoulder against the wood. And I think this is where the story shifts from crime scene to nightmare. Because when he gets that door open, he finds his wife, Jenna. She's not hurt. She's just sitting on the edge of the tub, fully dressed, soaking wet, rocking back and forth.
But inside the tub
is their son, Max, 8 years old, floating face down in the water.
It's devastating. At this point, David is living every parent's worst fear. He pulls his son out, starts CPR, desperate, screaming at Jenna. He asks her why. How could she do this?
And her response is just completely detached from reality.
No tears.
She doesn't cry. She looks him dead in the eye and says, I didn't kill a boy, David. I killed the Antichrist.
Okay, now, in a court of law, that's an insanity plea.
Right. That is a psychotic break brought on by stress. That's how we rationalize it.
That's what David wants to believe. He needs to believe his wife has snapped. But the file includes background interviews with neighbors, with teachers, and they suggest Jenna wasn't hallucinating, or at least she wasn't alone in her fear. Max wasn't a normal 8-year-old.
This is the part of the research that gave me chills. The bully incident?
Yeah.
We have the school nurse's log here. 2 older boys tried to corner Max in the lavatory a few months prior. They were going to rough him up. 10 minutes later, those 2 bullies ran out of the bathroom screaming.
And bleeding profusely. From their eyes and ears.
Not a nosebleed. We're talking lacrimal duct hemorrhaging. The doctors couldn't stop the bleeding for hours. And here is the data point that defies explanation. 3 days after that incident, those 2 bullies vanished from their bedrooms.
Just gone.
No forced entry. Just gone.
And they weren't found until months later by hikers on the Appalachian Trail, 50 miles away.
They found fingers.
Just fingers.
Fused into the wood of an oak tree, not stuck in it. growing out of the grain.
Yeah.
The DNA match was confirmed. There is no biological or physical mechanism for human flesh to merge with seamless hardwood like that.
No.
It implies a manipulation of matter that we don't have a name for.
And Max. How did he react to his classmates turning into trees? He smiled. He reportedly told his father, "Small men like you will grovel like worms when I rise to my throne of bones." He spoke of a true father and his impending ascension.
So, Jenna, the mother, she wasn't acting out of malice.
No, in her mind, she was the final line of defense for humanity. She drugged him and drowned him to stop this ascension.
She thought she had won. David thinks it's over. He steps out of the bathroom, into the kitchen to call 911. He puts the kettle on.
A shock response, trying to normalize the moment with tea.
Right, and that's when he hears the wet footsteps behind him.
And this is the pivot, the moment the genre changes from thriller to supernatural horror.
He turns around.
Hmm.
Max is standing in the hallway. He's dripping wet, but his skin is gray and his eyes, the sclera, the iris, everything is pitch black, just voids.
And he isn't standing on the floor.
No, he's hovering about 3 inches above the hardwood, and he brought friends.
The mutated children. The report describes them as the missing victims from the school, but twisted. Limbs bent backward at the elbows and knees.
Oh, God.
Scurrying on the walls and ceiling like spiders. They completely defied gravity and anatomy.
Imagine seeing that in your own hallway.
Yeah.
The cognitive dissonance must be paralyzing. Your brain literally cannot process that image.
Max speaks. His voice is described as layered, like 3 people speaking at once, vibrating the windows. He says, "Did you really think water could kill what was never alive?"
He snaps his fingers, and one of the things on the ceiling drops on the mother. It's instantaneous. David, the father, is cornered in the kitchen.
And the kettle starts whistling.
That high, piercing shriek that cuts through the tension.
It's his only weapon. He grabs the boiling water and hurls it.
It's such a desperate human move against a supernatural entity. Does it work?
It buys him seconds. The water hits Max in the face. Max screams, a sound that shattered the kitchen windows, and recoils. The children scramble to protect him. David runs.
Just runs.
Sprints out the front door into the snow barefoot.
The police SWAT team arrived 6 minutes later. They found the mother dead. They found the twisted bodies of the other children, the minions.
Gunned down or just deceased. Yeah.
What, Max?
Gone. The back wall of the house was blown out, not by an explosion, but like it had been erased. Max escaped.
And that's the lingering horror of this case. He's not in custody. He's out there.
Presumably building that throne he promised.
Which brings us to a terrifying realization about control. David thought he could protect his home. He couldn't. But our next case, this one is about the things we create to protect us, turning against us. It moves from the horror of the flesh to the horror of the object. You have the file on Mr. Mayhem.
I do. And I know you did a deep dive on the psychology of the uncanny valley for this one.
I did, because this story is the definition of it.
Yeah.
It's about a guy, let's call him Sam, moving into a new apartment complex.
Standard setup.
Exactly. He gets the keys to the basement storage unit included with the lease. He goes down there expecting, old paint cans or Christmas decorations.
And instead he finds a roommate.
A crash test dummy. Life-sized. White plastic shell. Articulated joints. It's sitting in the corner on a dusty chair. And someone has taken a thick black Sharpie and scrawled Mr. Mayhem across the back of its plastic skull.
The landlord claims it was a prank prop left by the previous tenant, so Sam keeps it.
He figures, free Halloween decoration, he cleans it up. But almost immediately, the uncanny valley effect kicks in. For you listening, that's the psychological concept where something looks almost human, but not quite.
And it triggers a deep primal revulsion.
It's a biological warning system.
Evolution telling us to stay away from corpses or diseased members of the tribe. Our brains know when something isn't right, even if our eyes can't spot it.
Exactly. And Mr. Mayhem triggered every alarm bell. Sam mentions the eyes, just painted black dots, felt like they were tracking him. He'd leave the dummy in the corner, go to work, and come back to find it slightly rotated.
Or an arm raised that was down before.
Right. The classic, it moved on its own trope.
Which we can usually explain away. Vibrations, gravity, the building settling.
That's what Sam tells himself. Until the incident on the roof. A few days later, Sam is walking up to his building in the rain. He gets that feeling of being watched. He looks up.
Don't look up.
Standing on the ledge of the 4-story building is Mr. Mayhem.
Standing. A crash test dummy can't balance their dead weight. They have no musculature.
It teeters and falls. Bam! Smashes into the pavement 3 feet in front of Sam. If he'd been walking a little faster, he'd be dead.
That's not a prank. That's an assassination attempt.
Sam is shaken. He drags the broken dummy back to the storage unit, determined to get rid of it. And that's when he starts finding Post-it notes in his apartment, old ones, hidden under drawers saying, "Don't let it out," and "It's hungry."
This is where the rational mind says, move out, run.
Sam decides to destroy it. He packs a hacksaw, a hammer, garbage bags. He shoves Mr. Mayhem into the trunk of his sedan and drives to a secluded spot by the river.
He plans to dismember it.
So it fits in the trash. There's a grim task, essentially treating it like a body disposal.
He pulls the dummy out by the riverbank. He raises the hammer.
And brings it down hard on the dummy's face to crack the plastic shell. The face splits open, but he doesn't see foam. He doesn't see metal support struts.
What does he see?
He sees a human tooth.
Oh, God.
A molar. Embedded in a desiccated, mummified jawbone hidden inside the crash test dummy. The plastic wasn't a body, it was a sarcophagus. A shell built around a corpse.
So he's been living with a dead body in his basement. A body that was encased in plastic.
And that body is apparently conscious. Sam panics. He runs to the driver's seat to call the cops. He locks the doors. But before he can dial, the world goes black.
Something hits him from behind.
On the back seat.
He wakes up in the dark, cramped, smelling gasoline and old carpet.
The trunk.
He's in the trunk of his own car, and the car is moving.
Who is driving?
That's the question. The car stops, the driver gets out, Sam kicks the back seat, luckily it's an older car with access, and crawls into the main cabin. He realizes he's in an abandoned industrial warehouse. He tries to whisper to 911.
But the driver hears him.
And the driver is Mr. Mayhem.
A white plastic hand punches through the driver's side window. It drags Sam out. And yes, it's Mr. Mayhem. The face is shattered from the hammer, revealing the dry brown skull underneath the white plastic.
And the jaw is flapping loose.
Okay.
But the body moves with terrifying strength.
It's a revenant, a corpse driving a plastic suit.
Sam scrambles into the warehouse, and then the lights flicker on. It's not just an empty room, it's a showroom.
How many?
There are 50 other dummies, standing in rows.
An army.
Some have names: Mr. Cologne, Mrs. Waters, the executive. And as Sam runs past them, their heads all snap to follow him.
It's a factory. Someone is manufacturing these things.
Sam finds a chain winch hanging from a heavy steel beam. He plays cat and mouse with Mr. Mayhem. The dummy lunges jerky, snapping movements, and Sam manages to hook the winch under the dummy's plastic jaw. He hits the UP button.
Hoisting him up.
Mr. Mayhem is left dangling 15 feet in the air, thrashing, the plastic screeching against the metal hook. Sam escapes.
What did the police find?
They arrived later. They cut open the dummies. They found 3 bodies inside them. Mr. Mayhem was identified as Samson Mayhew, a factory worker reported missing 2 years prior.
And the others?
The other dummies were empty. But here's the detail from the police report that keeps me up at night. The evidence log showed a break-in at the warehouse 2 days after the police raid.
No.
3 distinct sets of plastic footprints were found leading out of the facility.
They went back into circulation.
Exactly. You walk past a mannequin in a department store or see a prop in a theater. How do you know what's inside?
You don't. That's the horror. It takes the inanimate and gives it a malicious secret. Okay, we've done the horror of the home and the horror of the object. This last one, this is the horror of the journey. The liminal space.
The last line. This is a transcript from a recovered audio diary found on a phone in Grand Central Terminal.
It starts with Jack Thurston, sales manager, a guy who lives by the schedule. He's taking the sleeper train from Chicago to New York. He's done this trip 100 times.
He falls asleep. When he wakes up, his watch says they should be passing Cleveland, but he looks out the window. It's not Cleveland.
It's just fields. Moonlit, gray fields.
And they go on forever. He watches for an hour. No towns, no roads. Just the same loop of dead grass and full moon.
So he tries to find the conductor.
He finds an attendant, an older woman. He asks, "When do we hit New York?" And she gives him a blank stare and says, "Sir, I'm not familiar with that location. There is no New York."
That's gaslighting on a metaphysical level. It wipes away your destination.
He finds other passengers. There's Lisa, a journalist who is freaking out, and an old man named Howard who claims he's been on the train for eternity.
They call it the Eternal Express.
And they explain the rules to Jack. The train never stops. If you try to jump between the cars, the void takes you, and there's a hierarchy on the train.
A society is broken down.
Right. In the dining car, there's a preacher, a madman who worships the engine. He throws passengers off the train, sacrificing them to the wheels to keep it moving.
It's basically a microcosm of hell on rails.
Jack decides he's not accepting this. He wants to find the engine. He pushes forward car after car, dodging the cultists. But there is no engine.
What do you mean?
The train is a circle. The front car connects to the back car.
So there is no driver.
Oh, there's a conductor. Jack meets her in the quiet car. This little girl, maybe 7 years old, wearing a pristine pink dress.
Little girl.
With eyes just like Max from our first story. Pitch black. She's walking through the chaos, calm as ice. She tells Jack, "I know your sins, Jack. I know why you bought the ticket."
Implying that the train isn't a mistake, it's a punishment.
Exactly. A purgatory. Jack asks to get off. The girl smiles, a horrible, too-wide smile, and says, "Fine, last stop." The train slams on the brakes. The screeching is deafening. The lights die.
And the doors hiss open.
But what's outside?
Nothing. An abyss. No ground, no sky. Just swirling darkness. The preacher and his cult run out screaming, "Salvation!" and jumping into the dark. Jack hears wet tearing sounds, screams that fade instantly.
It's a trap. The exit is the execution.
The little girl looks at Jack and says, "Everyone has to get off eventually. Jump."
Yeah.
It's a test of will. She wants him to surrender to the void. She's pressuring him.
What does Jack do? This is the moment of truth.
He grabs Lisa and Howard. He shouts, "No! We aren't getting off!" He realizes the only way to win is to refuse the game. He hits the closed door button.
That takes insane courage. The doors are open to hell, and he chooses to stay in the trap.
The girl screams. Her face contorts. Her jaw unhinges like a snake. But the doors close. The train lurches forward. It accelerates. Faster and faster until the G-force pins them to the floor. They are hurtling into absolute blackness.
They hold hands, waiting to die.
And then,
They're like that.
harsh, blinding sunlight. The train slows down smoothly. The announcer comes on. Now arriving. Grand Central Terminal. They look out the window. Commuters. Taxicabs. Reality.
They broke the loop.
They step off onto the platform, weeping. They're alive. But Jack sees something before he leaves the station.
He feels a tug on his coat. He turns around. It's the little girl, the conductor. But her eyes are brown. She looks like a normal lost kid. She holds up a ticket and asks, "Excuse me, sir, is this the train to Chicago?"
Oh. That makes my stomach drop.
Jack freezes. He looked at the train behind him. It's idling, dark and metallic. He tells her, "No, run away from this train," and she frowns and runs off to find her mom.
But was she the conductor? Or just the next victim?
Or maybe the train wears the face of the innocent to lure you in? We don't know.
You know, looking at all three of these stories, the Throne of Bones, Mr. Mayhem, The Last Line, there is a common thread here. It's not just monsters exist.
No, it's about the intrusion of the irrational into the mundane. A father coming home from work, a guy cleaning a basement, a businessman on a commute. These aren't people exploring haunted houses.
No, these are people doing normal things when reality just tore open.
It makes you question the stability of the world around you. We trust the locks on our doors. We trust that the plastic mannequin is hollow. We trust that the train will stop at the station.
And the sources suggest that trust might be misplaced.
And the worst part, in all three cases, the threat remains. Max is still out there with his powers. The plastic molds for Mr. Mayhem still exist.
And that train is still running on the rails.
The ascension might be happening in a town 2 states over. You might be sitting next to a hollow man on the bus right now.
Well, on that terrifying note, I think we've reached the end of this deep dive. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be checking my back seat before I drive home tonight.
I'll be checking the locks twice.
To everyone listening, thank you for stepping into the shadows with us. Keep your eyes open. Question what you see in the corner of your eye. And be very, very careful which ticket you buy.
The ride doesn't always go where the map says it does.
Good night. And good luck.